So, you want to amaze your friends or people around? I mean, completely blow their minds, make them say, "What the hell?" And know that 98% of them are not going to be able to do anything so simple and complicated at the same time. Ever. Personally, I often use this trick whenever I want to impress the person in front of me. It adds a tiny cool looking detail to impression I want to make on people. Yeah, and also it is something to busy out your fingers and yourself when you're bored. Just passing time with pleasure and with use mastering some tricks with simple pen, wherever you are, whenever you want. Okay, no more extra words, it is going to be a long journey to ruling the world, and first of all, that's how the trick looks. Let's say you need to sign some document or write a telephone number on some girl's card. You take your pen. Oh, that's a wrong side. What am I gonna do? I can't write holding the pen like this. People around just oohing and ahhing, grab their heads. Someone even falls into a faint. You raise your hands, calming everyone down. I'm just kidding, that looks crazy difficult, but awesome. The most of awesome things are difficult. Otherwise everybody could do them and they wouldn't be so awesome anymore, right? Nevertheless, it is more than achievable skill and it can be learned pretty quick. Let me show you how. Look closely and try to repeat. First of all, take your pen by its cap side between thumb and index finger, close to its end. So the bigger part with writing ink would look up, like this. Hold your fingers firmly, but don't tense them. Wrist turned palm side. The rest of your fingers are also relaxed. Middle is up a bit and ring with pinky are a bit down. You will need some space for pen to go and land on your ring finger later. So you may straighten middle and bend ring and pinky a little. The main thing is, ring should be under your pen. Now, make a sharp movement with your hand forward and back, at the same time loosening a hold of your fingers. Tricky thing here is to adjust grip of your index and thumb, so pen could move freely between them and at the same time wouldn't fall on a table. When pen goes down, it should land on your ring finger, and when it will, put your middle above it. So now the pen is between ring and middle fingers. Okay, turn your hand palm down and get ready. That's the point where most of you guys are going to rage quit and leave more fresh air for the rest 2%. Guys of purpose. And you guys, you need to do this movement. When your pen landed on ring finger and was placed between middle and ring fingers, position looks like this. Ring finger is down under the pen, middle is up above it. Pen is orthward to fingers with writing ink looking aside away from you. You hold the pen pretty much close to its center. You need to do a sharp movement with 3 of your fingers. Ring should go up, like throwing your pen up, out of your hand. At the same time, middle should push the pen down. So they switch places together, and as you may see, pen flies away from you to another dimension. You need to adjust force needed to do this movement. If you practice for a while, you could even make your pen spin on your middle like this. It would be very helpful, but will be so hard to perform confidently. I will show you a more simple way to continue this trick. So, when you throw pen away while letting your ring go up and your middle down, you will also need to raise your index and connect it with your ring finger like this. It would lock up your pen. Throw your pen over your middle, so it would land in slot between index and middle fingers. Try to do this for a while, and if you feel that nothing works and you really can't do it, I have a separate video dedicated to this trick only. Go and watch the video about tricks Sonic in pen spinning, link in description under this video on YouTube. Anyway, it is going to take you 1 hour to master, minimum. 1 hour if you're genius in pen spinning, if you're hidden genius. So get yourself some patience. Look, at this point you hold the pen between index and middle fingers at its center, with ink looking away from you. Index is above your pen, middle is placed under, palm down, just like this. Now turn your wrist palm side, and as you do it, bend fingers a little closer to thumb and also move thumb closer to the rest of them under the pen. You can practice this movement for some time, starting with the part when you hold the pen between middle and ring fingers, and to the part when you turn your hand palm side. Okay, as you can see, now the pen is pretty close to writing position. Probably we can try to write something with it. No, that doesn't work. That's just dumb, Alex. What the hell? I've been going through so much pain and now I can't even write properly. Don't worry, pal. Here goes the fix. So, you hold the pen this way with middle finger under it. Make sure to place thumb closer to cap of the pen. Now you need to switch places of your index and middle. Index goes up and middle grabs your pen and you're left in such a position. Now all you need to do is shift thumb even closer to the cap, almost to the end of the pen. Push pen with your middle finger at its center, just as if you were pressing the trigger, and at the same time push it with your thumb a little. You need to turn the pen over your thumb. Without a pen, this movement of your fingers should look somewhat like this. Again, the tricky thing is to adjust force of your pressing, so it would be enough for the pen to go around thumb, but not too much, so it would stay within your hand. If you got stuck at this point, go and check out the video tutorial of thumb around trick and pen spinning on my channel, Pen Stock. Link in description under this video on YouTube. Yes, I have a separate video for each of the tricks from today's video tutorial and much more. Consider subscribing. And as you see, now we are good to write. Pen is in writing position, audience applauses, somebody here and there whistles and cries bravo. Everything is just like all we wanted it to be. Again, you should remember that the percentage of people who would manage to go so far with this trick is extremely small. So even when you share this video, they would go like, what the fuck? More than 98% of people will never be able to do it. Will never be able to get pleasure out of this process. Take part in competitions, games. Not because it is very hard. No, it is just for a certain amount of people. A very small amount actually. So we are the chosen ones, magicians. Just shy of 400 or 500 years ago they would want to put us on fire. Thanks God we live in such an enlightened age when people can spend time playing Fortnite or whatever they play today and learn tricks with pens. By the way, it has cool mental bonuses and develops your fine motor skills, in contrast to Fortnite. And if you watched this video till this point, whoa, that's a nice approach. Write down Peripad Viperivat in the comment section below this video on YouTube, so we would know how many of you guys are patient and consistent. We, I mean the whole community of us. Hit the subscribe button if you want to learn much more than that. You know, that's just a ground, basic level of pen spinning. Also, if you're pissed off because you can't really accomplish this trick, I suppose you might be, but you really want to, go and get a special tool on penstock.net. You know, I've showed this how to do this trick with a simple pen, but frankly speaking, it is not so simple as it could be with a specially made tool. A pen mod with a nice length, nice weight, nice balance. Something handsome like this. Don't forget to push the bell button after you subscribe to Penstock. If you're watching it right now, you should definitely do it. That's the best channel about pen spinning without any doubts. I'm Alex Sukhov. May the star be with you guys. Bye.
We all have grown up watching all kinds of magic and illusions. The magicians have their secrets which they never share, and that's what makes their magic shows a treat to watch. Maybe as a child we were too involved in the magic and didn't care much about the secrets, but not anymore. Hello and welcome back to Fact or Fusion. Today we'll be revealing some of the greatest magic secrets of all time. So let's get started. At number 5. Lean back levitation. We all remember the iconic Matrix scene, which was quite incredible. Here you can see Dynamo, the famous magician who is performing this amazing trick with quite ease. He leans back slowly till his body becomes parallel to the surface. Then he raises his left leg in air and then all of a sudden gets back up without any problem. Ever wondered how Dynamo performed this gravity-defying trick? Well, here's the secret. And it is all hidden in the specially designed shoe, which has a heel that locks into the pegs on the floor. To support his full leg, the heel is connected to a steel-framed dual leg brace that locks out when he is just about parallel to the surface. This locking mechanism combined with the heel mechanism supports his body weight and shifts the center of gravity away from his upper body. This allows him to stay balanced while leaning backwards at an impossible angle. Once he feels him being supported and balanced by his right leg, he lets everyone know that he is suspended in the mid-air and then slowly lifts his left leg. The interesting part here is Dynamo lifts his left leg straight out. It actually helps him balance by shifting the center of gravity even further towards his leg. In this trick, he also makes sure his pants are long enough to prevent any exposure of the steel frame attached to his leg. After impressing the girls with his Matrix stunt, he slowly and steadily gets up. Act number 4. Identical Twins Magic Act. Tony and his twin brother Jordan once performed an amazing magic trick that brought the America's Got Talent judges and the audience to their feet. The act combined the power of magic and technology. Here's what they did. Tony began the trick by stepping behind a giant screen he brought onto the stage. Then all of a sudden he appears on the screen. On screen he splits himself into two, making the audience realize that they are not just looking at Tony, but also his identical twin brother Jordan. From there on, Tony and Jordan work together on stage to perform amazing, cool, interactive stuff on the screen, as you can see here. Now, the interactive stuff of the act is quite obvious to understand. They just have a video playing on the big screen, and the twin brothers don't really interact with the screen or affect what is happening on it. Before this act, they had just practiced hard enough to make sure exactly what they need to do on the stage, thus creating the illusion that they are interacting with the screen. So, a lot of tricks performed in a very short time, and we'll be revealing these following key secrets. Turning napkins to red dress. After the girl appears on the screen, Tony and Jordan shoot red napkin-like cloth at her. The red napkin flies to the screen and becomes a red dress on the girl. How is this done? Well, they don't really shoot the napkin at her. The real napkin actually disappears into the sleeves as soon as they let go of them with one hand. This is done using a gimmick called Checo, which pulls the napkin using elastic bands into the sleeves. At the same moment, two red cloths appear on the screen, fly towards the girl and transform into a dress. Basically, everything happens on the screen. All Tony and Jordan have to do is to release the napkins at the right moment to create the visual illusion that they are shooting the napkins onto the screen. Lighting up the bulb. Tony never lit that up. It was just the video playing on the screen which made the illusion of bulb lighting up. Also, you can see how he gets rid of the bulb behind his bookshelf. The balloon illusion. At one point, Jordan takes a yellow balloon and hands it over to the girl on the screen. If you look at the video closely, you can actually see the balloon in his hand exploding and the pieces falling to the floor. This explains how he makes the balloon disappear by picking it up. At the same time, the balloon appears in the on-screen video. The twin girls appearing on the stage. If you pause the video, you can see this small cupboard to the right of the screen where the girls are actually hiding. Before they appear, you can also see how Jordan conceals the view with the blanket, which enables the girls to crawl from behind the cupboard towards the middle of the stage. At number 3, James Moore's sword stabbing trick. James Moore once performed a great sword trick on Britain's Got Talent where he got himself stabbed. First, the assistant placed James on the tip of the sword and left him. Few seconds later, the sword goes through his body, leaving the viewers and judges completely in shock. The two helpers then lifted him off the sword and he was alright. The trick generated quite a buzz and puzzled millions who couldn't believe how he has done it. Well, here's the secret. James had a special support on his back, hidden under his clothes. And also he has a small slot to hold the sword in it. Now, when the assistant placed him on the top, the sharp tip of the sword falls and is hidden inside the bottom part and then enters the hole in the support. This makes James balance in the air. At the same moment, a fake sword appears from his stomach, which is the device that creates the illusion of a sword going straight through him. Wasn't it shocking? At number 2, Split Man Trick. This incredibly cruel magic trick is scaring hell out of the people, with the body cut in half. If that's what you think, well, it's just a prank and you can too perfect it. Here's the secret. The split man illusion only works when you watch the performer from the front. But if you were to look from behind or even from the side, you'll notice that the performer is actually pulling off an incredibly awkward stance to make the illusion work. And it is clear that from his knees to the waist, it is actually a plastic mannequin created using baggy clothes and few other items. A right body posture and the costume create the perfect illusion of a man holding his own leg with one of his hands. Finally, you have it, the man cut in half who is able to fully walk with his handmade costume and make it look that much more believable. Wow! Now, before we move on to reveal the final trick, in our previous magic video, we had asked you whether the water you see suspended is fake or real. The answer is quite obvious, it's a fake trick. Scientifically, to stay water suspended in the air, it requires a rigid object. A spin motion does make things stable, but this is usually for rigid objects, not for fluids. Also, this video is low definition and a few camera tricks and effects make it seem more believable. You will try it multiple times and fail, not because it is fake, it's just not possible. And now, the final trick in our video. At number 1, produce card out of thin air. Have you ever seen a magician produce cards out of thin air? It's one of those tricks where the move is so cool that it looks so spectacular. And do not be fooled by the simplicity of this trick. It is very visual and can be real reputation maker if you perfect it. The only thing you need is pack of cards and a lot of patience day in, day out. Well, here's the secret. The magician places the card behind his hand on the back of his palm and gently opens his first finger and the little finger, then closes it with a very slight bow in the card. This is the first position where the audience thinks that the hand is empty. He then closes his hand and pushes his thumb onto the card as it sits on the nails of his middle and ring finger. Finally, he slides his nails out so that he's holding the card with the pads of his middle and ring finger. He pulls this trick off by increasing his hand movements to show both sides of his hand without flashing the card. As you can see here, the magician performed this trick with a great speed and the height is such that it hides any flashes of the card moving from back to front and then back again, thus making the card appear out of thin air. So do you like this trick? How would you perform if given a pack of cards? Did it work out for you? Post your comments below and let us know your thoughts. Now that you know the amazing card trick, watch this carefully. And tell us how you get that card onto his mouth. We'll be revealing this secret in our next magic video. So guys, these were some of the best magic secrets finally revealed. Are there any other magic tricks you'd like us to reveal? Tell us in the comments and we'll definitely jump onto them.
Hello everyone. You've always wanted to become a wizard, but the owl with your Hogwarts acceptance letter seems to have got lost on the way. Has nobody invited you to break bills either? You're dreaming of making a career as an illusionist, but even your grandma falls asleep during your card tricks. Don't worry, because we're going to reveal to you today the secrets behind the most incredible tricks. Tricks that anyone can do at home. Now, put on your hat, stock up on rabbits, and abracadabra. Disappearing salt. We're going to start with a trick by Smoothini from America's Got Talent, which fascinated the judges. You might think, come on, it's just salt. What's so magical about that? But in the hands of a real wizard, even salt can do amazing things. First, the magician pours salt from the salt cellar into his fist, and then it disappears.
Because I am ghetto. Whoa.
A moment later, it magically appears in the other hand, and then again.
Pretty cool.
Smoothini can do it with other substances too, not just salt. The drink from the glass of the judges acquires strange magical properties in his hands and suddenly begins to teleport.
That is the name. Whoa!
Isn't this real magic? Actually, you don't have to pass exams at some magic university to master this trick. All you need to do is prepare a simple fake finger in advance. Magicians often use these kind of props, and for a reason. Watch his hands. When Smoothini opens the salt cellar, the fake finger is on his left hand, and after a second it's in a tight fist. And now if you look closely, the finger ends up on the thumb of the right hand. Voila! And again, it's clenched in his fist. He can keep repeating it as many times as he wants, as long as he has enough material and the audience doesn't notice the dexterity of his hands. By the way, Smoothini himself is drawing the audience's attention to the other hand like a true professional. What can we say? He is the real deal. Balloon swallow trick. Many of you must have seen in the movies, and maybe even in real life, how illusionists swallow swords and other sharp objects that are not meant for eating. But we're not going to talk about dangerous tricks today, because an ordinary sword can be easily replaced with an inflatable one. Yes, swallowing a balloon is no less spectacular if you do it with a little creativity. See it for yourself. A huge rubber thing that's not supposed to fit inside a person, but the illusionist swallows it so easily, as if the process weren't causing him any discomfort. Well, maybe just a little. The balloon even seems a little appetizing in the end. But what is the secret? We're gonna be honest, it's all about preparation. Before you go on stage, you need to prepare the balloon by piercing it with a needle near the end. Not where you inflate it, but on the opposite side. You have to pierce it several times, very carefully, all the way through to get an even number of holes. The faster you want to pull the trick, the more holes you need. Once you're done with the preparation, you can move on to the trick itself. Inflate the balloon as usual, but be careful not to let the air get to the holes and start escaping. Meanwhile, you can talk to the public, make jokes, or do something magical to distract everyone from the balloon. Then all you have to do is put the ends that doesn't have holes in your mouth and slowly push the nod, rolling the balloon into itself. The air will come out through the holes, and the small deflated balloon itself will eventually fit in your mouth completely. Now you just hide it behind your cheek and talk to the audience. Like any other trick, it requires training, but once you feel in control of both the ball and your tongue, you may add a little fun and learn how to make special swallowing movements during the trick. Just don't swallow the props. Magical Oreo. Do you like Oreos? Of course, who doesn't love them? And how do you prefer eating them? Taking a big bite, or maybe as the manufacturers advise, dividing it into 2 parts and licking off the cream? Or maybe you shove a whole cookie in your mouth and then try to tell your family how your day was. Do you eat them with milk or coffee? Maybe tea or juice? Of course, there can be a lot of ways. Some people just eat the cream and then put the cookies back together and return them to the box. What a despicable thing to do. But don't worry, an experienced magician can easily return the lost cream in just a couple of seconds, without magic gestures or spells or a magic wand. The cream just appears, as if out of nowhere. But if you know your magic, you probably know that you can't just create something out of thin air. This rule always works, and this case is no exception. But you can pull this trick if you use special Oreos with marshmallow instead of cream. You can actually buy these cookies ready-made, but if you don't want to spend any money and you're your career as a magician is just beginning, you can also do it all by yourself. It's much easier than it seems at first glance. After all, marshmallows are very soft, which means that they can be squeezed to make it seem like there's no cream between the cookies, and then slowly relieve the pressure, and the filling seems to magically appear. The Chains of Death. American magician Criss Angel is a well-known personality in the world of magic and illusions, and he can turn anything into a prop for his magic tricks, even the most ordinary chain lying in the backyard. This trick is often called the Chains of Death, and it's easy to see why. The magician wraps the chain around his neck, then hands over the ends to the audience or his assistant, and then, after a dramatic pause, he gathers all his strength and gives the order.
3.
The chain is then pulled from both sides, but it just falls off the neck of the magician without causing him any harm and without breaking. Fascinating? Hell yeah. And imagine how much tension the audience feels. However, this trick is not as dangerous as it may seem at first glance. Like in any other trick, it's all about dexterity. The chain is real and can be made of the most durable material. The secret is in the way the wizard wraps it around his neck. If you look at it from the viewer's side, it seems that the chain has been wrapped really tightly around the neck several times, but if you change the angle of view and look from above, it becomes clear that the back of the chain forms a loop, so the chain doesn't encircle the neck at all, it just rests on it to create an illusion. Then you just need to convince your spectators you're risking your life. A few deep breaths, a frown, a sharp jerk, and done. You are an amazing true wizard. Neck chain. Have you heard of an illusionist named Dynamo? He's an incredibly cool British magician whose performances made the public scream in awe. Meanwhile, skeptics don't understand how he pulls it off, and even after a few years, his tricks still seem incredibly cool.
Oh my goodness.
For example, this trick with a chain that literally cuts through the magician's neck. Please consider stepping away from the screen if you're faint-hearted, because it looks quite disturbing. Look closely. Here's the magician opening the chain, and voila, it's right under the skin.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh my God.
And then it pops out without any skin damage.
Oh, flippin' heck, Tucker.
But the most surprising thing is that there's a mint on the chain, and Dynamo just chewed it up. Real magic. But in fact, it's a little more complicated than that, and that's why it's more interesting. As you have already probably figured out, one of the most important aspects of any trick is the setup. Dynamo probably has some special secrets and supplies, but in this case, a simple glue stick will do. You need to apply it to the neck, and then press the chain or thread to the skin very tightly. It may be a little unpleasant, but magic does require sacrifice. Just a couple of seconds and it seems that the thread or the chain is literally cutting through your throat. Don't forget to show how much you suffer though. But what about the mint, some of our viewers will ask? Well, it's pretty simple. You'll need 2 mints, one for eating and the other one for hiding your hand along with the chain. You see, there's more chain in his hand than necessary. Well, the rest is just a matter of agility and practice. Coin trick. How can we talk about revealing tricks without a good old coin trick? Dynamo knows this too, so he learned how to deal with coins like a real wizard. Everything is simple. Here, he spins the coin, it rolls on the table in front of the magician, and the second the coin is ready to snap to the floor, Dynamo suddenly catches it on his finger, and the coin keeps spinning as if nothing had happened. What a remarkable dexterity! But it's more than that. You will also need some preparation. If you look closely, you can see that the nail on the index finger of the magician is different from the rest. And it's not a coincidence either, because the props are very important. To repeat Dynamo's trick, you need 2 coins, an ordinary one and another one with a little secret, a hole drilled in the edge. You need to fix a thin wire in this hole and then install it on a fake nail or just glue it to your finger with a double-sided adhesive tape. Now the coin will spin on the tip of your finger without falling off. But that's not it, because you still have to replace one coin with another at some point. To do this, you need to tilt the table imperceptibly towards yourself, spin the coin, and at the moment when it's almost on the edge, spin the other coin, the one on your finger. Don't forget to put your hand with the secret finger under the table though. Well, all you have to do now is raise it at the right moment and the trick is done. By the way, the coin on the wire stops almost almost immediately, so you can bring it to your lips and blow on it to make it spin longer.
The coin visually changes. The coin's One coin has to be smaller than the other. Place the smaller coin behind the bigger coin as shown, and hold these in between your hands. What you're then going to do is called the snap change. Extend your middle finger slightly and pull back on the coin. This will cause it to flick behind the other coin into your hand. As this happens, it looks as if the coin is changing. Simply perform this move under the cover of your other hand in whatever way you like. Extend your middle finger slightly, pull back on the coin, and it will reveal the smaller coin. The magician takes a coin and places it into his open hand. He leaves it there, and the coin suddenly moves and flips over. The coin and everything can then be handed out to the spectator. This trick requires a magnet and a magnetic coin. I'll leave a link to where you can get one in the description. Usually I place the magnet on my wrist with a strap. and as soon as you place your wrist underneath the coin will flip over. However, in this example, because I don't have a spectator with me, I place the magnet under the table. As soon as you bring your hand down over the magnet with the coin will flip over. The magician takes a coin and it jumps from hand to hand very visually. Place the coin in your open hand and cradle it between all your fingers, as shown. Practice dropping this coin into your hand by moving your fingers forward and thumb to the side very quickly. This will cause the coin to disappear from sight. Keep your fingers curled to make sure that the spectator can't see it. As you do this, produce another coin at exactly the same time by resting it on your thumb and pulling your fingers back. This will create a very visual popping illusion where it appears as if you've dropped the coin in one hand and it jumped straight up your arm. To keep doing the trick, simply do the same move but switch hands. So drop the first coin into your hand and produce the second coin from your other wrist. This move is quite knacky and will take some practice, but is quite simple in principle. The magician takes a coin, shows it to the spectator, and it visually vanishes. He then picks out something from the air and reproduces the coin. This trick requires a single coin. Place it between your first finger and middle finger using your thumb, and then extend your first finger and middle finger in an open position as shown. From the front, it will look as if there's nothing in your hand, when in reality the coin is hiding behind it. Simply do this move under the cover of your other hand as you pretend to take the coin. It will appear as if the coin has vanished. To produce it again, simply drop the coin from that position into your open hand. At speed, the move looks like this. The magician produces a coin magically from the air. He then takes that coin and it vanishes. This move is called the French drop. To begin, place the coin in your head and then lean your head forward and the coin will fall onto your hands. Then practice the French drop. Place the coin into your hand, as shown, and then with your other hand come over and practice taking the coin. This is what we want the move to look like. Once you're comfortable with this, simply use your thumb and push your other thumb to the side as you take the coin. This will cause the coin to drop into your hand as shown. Then continue and pretend to take the coin. Hold it in your hand, rub it, and it will look as if the coin has vanished when you open up your hand. This is the coin matrix. The magician shows 4 coins, and 1 coin jumps position. The second coin then suddenly jumps position, and finally, the third coin jumps position. The magician shows his hands completely clean. In order to do this trick, you'll need 4 coins and an extra coin. You can hide the extra coin by turning your hand over because from the spectator's point of view they won't see it. Use the palm of your hand to drag this coin to the top right hand corner. Deposit the coin there and at the same time use your other hand to drag the coin on the bottom right hand corner backwards. It will look as if the coin has just visually jumped places. Now use your left hand to deposit the coin with the other 2, At the same time, drag the bottom left-hand corner coin away with your other hand. Finally, do the same thing with the last coin, and it will look as if all 4 coins have visually jumped to the corner. You can hide the coin and apparently show your hands clean by very closely turning your hand over the coins, and the spectator won't be able to see the coin hiding under your hand. Also, make sure that all the coins are the same way up, so that all the heads or tails of the coin face the same direction. Here is a recap of the trick. The magician has a coin in his hand, and it instantly vanishes. In order to do this trick, you're going to need this gimmick. I'll leave a link down to it in the description, or you can try and construct one yourself. You need to attach an elastic thread to a magnet, and also a clip that you can clip onto your shorts or inside jacket pocket. At the very end of the magnet, there's also some invisible wire, which is called fishing wire. This will be used to clip onto your hand, as shown, around your fingernail. You attach the gimmick to your trousers or inside coat pocket, and then attach the fishing wire to the end of your finger. You also need a magnetic coin. All that happens is your hand comes over and the coin attaches to the magnet. You then release the magnet by moving your middle finger, and it will fire backwards as the fishing wire becomes unhooked. This will cause the coin to visually vanish. The magician has a coin in his hand. He takes the coin and focuses all his powers onto it. The coin starts to visually bend in his hand. The spectators can then check out the bent coin and try and unbend it and see that it's really real metal and it's actually been bent. In order to do this trick, you're going to need 2 coins, a pre-bent coin and a normal coin. Pre-bend the coin by placing it into some pliers and bending it in half. Then place the bent coin in your fingertips. You're going to have to switch the bent coin for the normal coin as shown. So display the normal coin and come over with the bent coin and place it in front of the normal coin. At the same time, pull back the normal coin into your hand and replace it with the bent coin. This creates the illusion that you've simply put the bent coin in your hand. Then the rest of the trick is simple.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.